Welcome to the Daily Recap. Elon Musk has been quietly using SpaceX like a personal ATM, and most people have no idea it's been happening. We're talking loans, financial lifelines, and a rocket company that somehow keeps showing up to bail out his other businesses right when they need it most. So the question is this: is SpaceX a revolutionary aerospace company, or has it been functioning as Elon Musk's private financial safety net? Let's get into it. A major investigation by the New York Times found that Elon Musk has used SpaceX in ways that go well beyond building rockets and sending satellites into orbit. According to the Times, SpaceX has provided Musk with personal loans, and the company has been used to support or stabilize his other struggling business ventures at critical moments. Here's what we know. SpaceX extended loans to Musk personally. The company also entered into business arrangements that appeared to benefit Musk's other companies, including Tesla and X, formerly Twitter. These weren't small side deals. These were structured financial moves that put SpaceX resources in the service of Musk's broader empire. The Times also found that when Musk was scrambling to pull together the $44 billion acquisition of Twitter back in 2022, SpaceX employees were swept into the chaos. Some were reportedly asked to assist with work related to the Twitter deal during company time. SpaceX, a private company, doesn't have to disclose most of its financial details to the public, which means a lot of this has stayed hidden until now. Musk has denied that SpaceX was used improperly, but the picture the Times paints is detailed and sourced. We're talking about internal documents, people with direct knowledge of these transactions, and a pattern of behavior that raises serious questions about the line between SpaceX the company and Elon Musk the billionaire. This story matters for a lot of reasons, and most of them hit closer to home than you might think. First, let's talk about SpaceX's money. SpaceX is not just some private tech startup running on venture capital. This company receives billions of dollars in government contracts. NASA has paid SpaceX over $5 billion for crew and cargo missions to the International Space Station. The Pentagon has massive contracts with SpaceX. Starlink, SpaceX's satellite internet division, received over $1 billion in federal subsidies to bring internet to rural communities across America. That is taxpayer money, your money. And if that money is flowing into a company that is simultaneously being used as a personal financial tool for its founder, that is a very serious problem. It means public funds could indirectly be supporting the private financial interests of one of the wealthiest people on the planet. Second, think about what this means for SpaceX employees. Thousands of people work at SpaceX because they believe in the mission. They want to go to Mars. They want to make humanity a multiplanetary species. That is genuinely inspiring. But if the company's resources are being diverted to prop up Twitter or Tesla, or to give Musk a personal loan, those employees are essentially working to fund a billionaire's lifestyle alongside their space dreams. Third, this story is about accountability. SpaceX is private, so it avoids the scrutiny that comes with being a public company. There are no quarterly shareholder calls where someone can ask tough questions. There is no SEC filing that spells out related party transactions in plain language. The lack of transparency is a feature, not a bug, for Musk. And this investigation is one of the rare moments where some of that opacity gets peeled back. Finally, consider the broader power Musk now holds. He controls a rocket company with government contracts, the world's largest social media platform, an electric vehicle company, a brain implant startup, and an artificial intelligence company. Using one of those pillars to financially support the others creates a web of self-dealing that regulators and lawmakers have barely begun to grapple with. To understand how we got here, you have to go back to the early days of SpaceX. Musk founded the company in 2002 after selling PayPal to eBay for $1.5 billion. He poured roughly $100 million of his own money into SpaceX early on, and there were several moments where the company nearly went bankrupt. The fourth Falcon 1 rocket launch in 2008 was a make-or-break moment. It worked. SpaceX survived. From there, SpaceX grew rapidly because of NASA contracts and Musk's relentless focus on reducing launch costs. By the 2020s, it was the dominant private rocket company in the world. But Musk's empire also grew. Tesla went public in 2010. The Boring Company launched in 2016, Neuralink in 2016, and then in 2022, the Twitter acquisition blew a massive hole in Musk's finances. To buy Twitter, Musk had to leverage Tesla stock and pull in outside investors. The deal saddled the newly renamed X with enormous debt. Tesla stock dropped significantly in the aftermath. Musk was stretched thin. That is precisely the context in which the Times found SpaceX stepping in as a financial resource. It wasn't random. It followed a pattern of Musk using whichever entity was strongest at a given moment to support whichever one was weakest. So, where does this go from here? A few possible directions. Congressional scrutiny is almost certain. Lawmakers have already been asking questions about Musk's growing influence, especially given his role advising the Trump administration through the so-called Department of Government Efficiency. If SpaceX is misusing federal contract money, that is a direct line to Capitol Hill hearings. The SEC and Department of Justice could also get involved. If any of the loans or transactions violated securities laws or constituted fraud, federal prosecutors will be looking at this closely now that it's public. Legal experts who spoke to the Times and other analysts suggest that SpaceX's board, which is supposed to act as an independent check on Musk, needs to answer serious questions about how these financial arrangements were approved and whether proper fiduciary processes were followed. And there's the court of public opinion. SpaceX's reputation as a mission-driven company is one of its most valuable assets. If enough people start seeing it as Musk's financial vehicle first and a space company second, that reputation takes real damage. Here's the bottom line. SpaceX has changed the world. The rockets are real. The achievements are real. But so are the questions now surrounding how Elon Musk has used that company for his own financial benefit. When a private company runs on public money, the public deserves answers. This story is not going away. We will keep tracking it right here. If you want to stay on top of stories like this one, like this video, subscribe to the Daily Recap and hit the bell so you never miss an update.